So I'm just going out for a walk. I'm back on the farm. Been here for about a week actually. Having got back in from France and Spain at the end of March, had to go in for 10 days isolation, which we did at a friend's place in Stratford. When I say we, it was with Alan and Shirley, a couple I'd met at Christmas time down in Spain, and we've got on really well since. So we've been spending some time together travelling, and then we all came back to the UK together and isolated, as I say, down in Stratford. And Andy, who owns the property there, was really good to us. Let us stay, gave us all the facilities, and yeah, excellent. And so after the 10 days of isolation, I came back up here to Bedford. Spent a few days here on the farm where I usually stay when I'm in the UK. And then last weekend I went down to, up to Doncaster with a meet up with a lot of other van lifers, some good friends of mine and some new people I'd met. We had a great weekend, fantastic weather, which has continued this week actually. It's been a glorious week. Bit of cold at the night time, but nonetheless it's been pretty good for the time of the year. So, as I was saying, I've come out for a walk. It's not far from the farm, probably less than a kilometre from the main farm, onto this woodland area which is called Marston Thrift. And I've walked here many times. You can walk, I don't know, probably 10 kilometres easily around the woodlands. In fact, you could go almost all the way into Milton Keynes from here, keeping to the tracks, which is good. But it's really peaceful, and you know, after all the lockdowns and all the restrictions and things like that, it's just really nice to get back out into nature and just enjoy nature for what it is, the peace, the tranquility, and yeah, it's good to get some exercise as well, which is probably important. So after a good 10 kilometre walk, which I felt really good for, I made my way back to the farm. And when I got back, I realised this was quite a special day for me. So today is a bit of a special day for me because today marks the 4,000th consecutive day of van life. Time's passed so quickly, probably 50 years ago, if not slightly more, I bought my first camper van. And I think throughout my life I've always enjoyed getting off the beaten track and seeing what's around the next corner. A bit of a cliche, but I think that's the way it's always been. But then back in 2010, I made the decision to go full time, and I've been on the road ever since. I've changed campers on a couple of 3 occasions. A couple because I just wanted to change, and one because I got involved in a multi-car pile-up in Spain, and the insurance company wrote the vehicle off. They said it was beyond economic repair, but fortunately they gave me back exactly what I'd paid for the camper, so I couldn't complain at all. But over the past 4,000 days, I've not only been to many amazing places and met some amazing people, many of whom are now firm friends, but it's just been such an invigorating time. People go into van life for all sorts of different reasons. Maybe because of a breakdown in a relationship, maybe it's because they're in debt, they can't afford a house, or to be in bricks and mortar, whatever. There's many reasons people go into van life, and it's good that they do. There's so much variation in the people that we do. It's becoming more and more popular. Every year when you travel around, you see more and more people on the road, and it is to a certain extent getting a little bit more difficult. I know here in the UK, it's not the easiest of places with a van, but we survive. But obviously when we go to the continent, we've got France and Spain and Portugal, all of which have got fantastic facilities as far as travelling by van is concerned. Obviously at the moment we're in the COVID situation, so a lot of travel has been put on hold. We're not allowed to at the moment go across into the continent, at least not until June time, when hopefully the borders will open and the UK government will allow us to once again travel abroad. In the meantime, I'm at a place I know well. It's a farm with some fantastic owners that allow me to stay, and it's amazing. It's a beautiful place. There's lots of walking and woodlands in the near area. A little bit of noise you might be able to hear in the background over there. There's a motorway probably a mile or so away. You can just faintly hear the traffic, but other than that, it's generally just bird song and nature, so that's good. What of the future? I don't know. I've been to so many countries that I suppose it's a question of really going around in circles. It's not easy to just add to that total. I think I'm better part of 70 countries visited now, so it's difficult to get more without going over great distances. And as I said before, with the COVID situation, that's not easy at the moment. Who knows what the future will bring. As for this year, I'm going to continue my journey as soon as I can. Obviously, not only the COVID, but here in the UK now we've got the restrictions because of Brexit, so we're only allowed to go within the Schengen area, which is predominantly most of Europe, for 90 days in any 180 days. And I spent the first 3 months of this year in Spain and France. Arrived back literally on the 90th day, went into isolation for 10 days, and we had to have the COVID test, which all came back negative, fortunately. Had my first COVID vaccine, so I'm good to go as far as that's concerned. So as soon as my 90 days are up, providing that the British government allows us to travel again, then I'm going to be off abroad. Really not quite certain what I'm going to do. I've got a hankering to go back up to Scandinavia, to see Sweden, Norway and Finland once again. It's a beautiful time of the year in the summer to be up there. The scenery is fantastic, and it's a good place to be with a camper van. But if not there, then maybe back down to Spain, do Spain and Portugal, and obviously France. And then I've got my fingers crossed that towards the end of the year the Moroccan border will open up again, because that's where I'll go down for the winter. I've been to Morocco many times. It's one of my favourite places, and if the borders are open, it's certainly somewhere that I'm going to be looking forward to going again. So as I look back over the last 10 years plus, it's been a really great experience. Obviously, you know, not every day can be perfect. We have our ups and downs, we have little problems here, little problems there, maybe something wrong with the van or the camper or whatever. But overall, the good days outweigh the bad days by about 200 to 1, if not more. So one really can't complain. And the people you meet, fantastic. I've got people that I'm in contact with literally around the world, all in a similar situation, living in vans and RVs and motorhomes, and all enjoying the lifestyle. So I'm looking forward to many more years. Hopefully I've got many more years to go, so we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I just thought you know, just spend a few minutes just to say that, yeah, 4,000th consecutive day of van life, quite an achievement. I feel quite proud of that.